Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwadner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, with the great pleasure and honor to speak with Helen Fanucci. She is a vice president at Microsoft, and she just finished a wonderful new book, Love Your Team. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you, Gerhard. It's so delightful to be here.
So, what made you decide to write a book about love and business? It's kind of a paradox.
In July of 2021, I was doing a keynote at a conference on retaining talent. And when I thought about what it really takes to retain talent, I thought, okay, what do I put on the slide? Support your team, care for your team. And what was authentic to me was love your team. And people ask me, well, how do you go about doing that? And so I wrote the book, and it's really a conversation by conversation survival guide that's really actionable, that helps managers figure out, okay, what conversation they need to have in a given situation. So I go through in every conversation chapter what traditional sales managers do, what Love Your Team sales managers do, how to recognize the need for the conversation, how to conduct the conversation. So that's what it's designed to do, to be helpful and actionable for sales managers for retaining talent.
How do you develop that love, supportive, nurturing, synergistic leadership style?
Honestly, early in my career, and this goes back to when I was moving from engineering into a marketing role, I accepted a job in Los Angeles, and I just realized that I could not move to Los Angeles from the Bay Area. A condition of the job acceptance was that I moved to LA. And so I didn't know what was going to happen. And that manager said, okay, well, you can work from the Bay Area. We'll figure out how to have you be effective remotely. And so that kind of focus on me, that caring, I think permeated my approach with my team early on. And frankly, early on, I thought my job was to tell my team how to do their job. And I quickly realized, no, that's not my job. My job is to set outcome-based objectives and expectations, and then let them do their job. And I realized that they had way better ideas and were far more creative than what I would come up with on my own. And I've been managing remote teams for over 25 years, and I know hybrid work and remote is uncomfortable for some managers. And so I include that also in the book. And that's why I think it's a really timely book. Because it is showing managers there's another way of doing things. Otherwise, you can't retain your talent.
So, in practical terms, what is the goal for your team in terms of dollars?
I have built my reputation on delivering multi-billion-dollar quotas. So that is, situational to the team I'm leading and whatnot. But I think I'll just leave it at multi-billion-dollar if that's okay.
That is a huge number. But let's look at the soft skill, the love your team. What metrics can you use to tell that you're succeeding at that?
So in terms of culture and love, there's things that I do that I expect my team to do with their customers. So building trust, transparency, being authentic, and also connecting. So having the connections and relationships. And building trust is foundational to being able to manage and lead a team, but it's also foundational for the sellers to be able to sell to their customers. What we sell is so complex in that, technology and innovation, you can't really understand all the details. You've got to trust the company that you're buying from, and the seller represents that, and they've got to be able to build the trust.
It's fascinating. I think that you, as a leader, you have spent so many years working so closely with people and supporting them. So you have a rich internal database to go back to. What do you recommend that new managers do?
Get to know your team. Find out what your team members care about, what their aspirations are, and support those aspirations.
I imagine the book has two side effects that are positive. One is that if you practice that love your team approach, you have more people that get promoted and growing beyond their own expectations. But there's a second side effect that when you really love your team, you retain the top performers longer.
I also then become an attractor of top talent because people see my talent getting promoted. So it's a virtuous cycle.
Well, thank you so much, Helen. I recommend that anybody who wants to grow as a leader, get the book Love Your Team by Helen Fanucci.